Yeah, so how key is Friday's game, to your playoff chances?
I think once you end up at this sort of stage of the season, every game's, you look at every game on its merits and the importance of it. So this game presents us with a fantastic opportunity in which we can cement our place into the top four before we have a couple of weeks break respite from the competitions we've been in. So it's a big game for us. It's not a season deciding game for us by any stretch, but it's a really good opportunity for us to go up there and build on the performance that we demonstrated on Sunday, and also to put in a great performance on Friday and then go into the break.
How many points do you think you need, Brad, to finish in that top four? Steve mentioned 70 last week. Do you think that'll do it around there?
I haven't looked at the previous sort of numbers. I know we need to have more points than the side in fifth, and then we're in the top four. So I don't know. I know there's data of those top four, like roughly where you need to be there and thereabouts. But if sides end up taking points off each other, that total can come down lower or higher. We just have to focus and get our performances in order, and this Friday's no different.
And I guess you were pleased with the defensive effort last week. 227 tackles out of 241 attempted. That's a serious defensive shift.
Yeah, it's a big shift, and the guys, I think the guys, demonstrated a real ability to be able to stay focused for that amount of workload in defence. Obviously, as a coaching group, we'd like that to be shifted to the other team and us to make less tackles and them to make more. But I thought we kept our shape really well. I think we only conceded 2 line breaks in the match, so it was a tremendous shift from the guys, and it was a pretty solid defensive performance. In saying that, we still want to improve, and there's still areas of our game defensively that we need to keep working on.
And some of those individuals really stood up. Paul James, who said 19 tackles, Dan Baker 23.
Yeah.
These are big figures.
Yeah, these are big. Anytime a side gets up to 220 odd tackles in a game with limited misses, you're going to have a big spread across the board, and for those guys, especially the pack, I can't. I thought their performance was absolutely exceptional. Not only did they do that, they also delivered on about 19 scrums in the game. So they put a phenomenal shift in, and I thought as a team, with that sort of possession and territory counting against us in the match, then to come away with the 4 tries and the bonus points, I think was really showed testament how clinical we are when we get the ball in hand. We really are. We didn't have that many opportunities, but we were clinical. We took the opportunities. Like I said, the area that we probably want to focus on moving forward is probably just to be able to keep hold of the ball for longer periods of play and try to flip those defensive numbers into our attacking numbers.
Talking about being clinical, we've just been speaking with Keelan. Do you feel that Keelan is ready to progress beyond the Ospreys, or would you like to sort of see him have a few more months, year before taking a step up to senior Test rugby?
It's a difficult one. Like I think there's still parts of Keelan's game that will probably. I think from the start, I think he's grown massively from where he was at the start of the season, and I think everyone knows what a real threat ball in hand he is, and how if he gets any space, he's one of the best finishers in the competition. I think defensively he's really fronted up. His positional play and his understanding of the defensive part of the game's improved immeasurably in the last 6 months. Is he ready? I suppose that's for the Welsh coaches, but I wouldn't be averse to looking forward to seeing him playing in a Wales shirt sooner rather than later. And I think he's shown enough for me to say that I think he's ready for test match rugby. It'll be nice to see. Hopefully, if he keeps developing, those opportunities come sooner rather than later.
With Paul James, just mentioned it. He tends the Ospreys appearance record holder in the Pro12 if he plays this week. How do you assess his contribution?
I think, I worked with Paul at Bath as well when I was defence and skills coach there, and I know what sort of character he is, and I know he did the majority of his work at the Ospreys before he joined Bath, and now he's back here. But I think what stands him out to the others is not only obviously he's a very high quality rugby player. He's what you don't see is his leadership. His leadership on the training ground, his assistance to the coaches in terms of helping us get our messages across, and the small little aspects of that leadership and the effect it has on his squad teammates. He's an outstanding player, and I think having him being able to instill some of your messages is invaluable to you as a coach.
Go on.
Just Welsh players coming back, six Welsh players back with you. It's a bit of a headache for you as coaches after such a good performance with the boys selected last week.
Yeah.
You may have to slot them back in.
Yeah, but it's good to bring that sort of quality back into the squad, and obviously how well we go in this competition and the other competitions we're in is going to be more of a test of our squad than actually the 15 or 23 that take part. I think the guys in the international window have put a huge shift in, and I think the 6 players who are coming back to us this week appreciate that effort and want to contribute this Friday night, so that we can keep on delivering and we can keep on improving. So it is sometimes it can be a little bit of a headache in terms of how you implement them integrate them back into your squad. But the sort of guys who are coming back in fit in pretty quickly, and we're expecting a real good performance out of those guys on Friday.
Yeah, with some injuries as well, it boosts the squad, I guess. With the Edinburgh match, the defensive effort, it took a real toll out of the players.
Yeah.
Those guys coming back in, it's positive.
Yeah, the physical effort, against Glasgow was huge. You can't underestimate the physical effort that came the week before against Munster, who were top of the table at that stage. All that has a knock-on effect for your squad, who are in this international window pretty skinny on numbers, to say the least. And so, those guys coming back in on a short turnaround is huge for us, and the quality that we're able to come in and integrate back into the squad and into the team is hopefully going to pay dividends for us on Friday night.
What did you think of Italy's reckless tactics? Do you see it catching on?
Personally, I hope it doesn't catch on. It's not something that I would like to implement myself as a defence coach. In saying that, I think they had to find a way that negated. I think their tactic was to negate the loss or the game, so they could minimise the numbers against them, as opposed to seeing it as a tactic to actually go out positively and win the game. It wouldn't be my choice of tactic, but I think it was clever from them. It worked for a certain while, but at the end of the day, it wasn't sustainable, and I think those sort of tactics you get found out pretty quickly, as it showed. Like in 40 minutes of rugby, it got found out pretty quickly, and then England were able to exploit.
Yeah, and Ireland's captaincy is kind of the scrutiny, if you like, after the decision to go for touch instead of the goal.
Yeah.
It has been criticised. How have you found him as a captain, or what did you think of the call last week?
How have I found him as a captain? From observing his leadership on the training field and in games, I think he's one of the best captains that I've been able to had the privilege to be able to work with, and I've worked with guys like Steve Borthwick, who was an outstanding captain at Bath, James Haskell, who was an outstanding and a captain at Wasp alongside Joe Launchbury and those guys. Alan Wynn's just, I think, right up there in terms of the decision he made. Every captain that I've known, when it comes to, if they're not the goal kicker, when it comes to taking a 3-point situation from difficult angles or long out, they always ask the kicker, you know, what they'd like to do. It doesn't matter what the captain's choice would be. The kicker's got to put his hand up and say, yeah, I want this kick, and I'm confident that didn't happen, so they went for the corner. And I'm sure if they'd come out with a score in the corner, it would have been the best decision. So I think the skipper just illustrated verbally to everyone else what the conversation was out in the field, and I think he was absolutely spot on.
And what are you expecting from Edinburgh this week?
I think I'm expecting a little bit of a response from what happened last week when they played, I think it was Cardiff up there. I'm expecting them to be a desperate team, to try and claw their way back into the top 6. I know historically they've always been very, very physical away from home, so I'm expecting them to be really set piece driven at line out and scrum time to try and give them a platform, and I expect us to be right at our best to be able to negate that and then take it on some.
Great stuff. All right.
In terms of injuries, no fresh injuries over this weekend after.
I'm trying to think. I don't think there's any more bangs from the weekend's fixture, Pete. Am I wrong? No, I think. Hannah's he's getting assessed by the medical department regarding his injury. I don't know too much detail about that, because I just I look at the players we have available at the start of the week and then formulate a game plan that can get us a result on Friday night. But you know, I think the guys are really, really excited about the opportunity that's going to show itself on Friday night, where we wanted to go up there and do a job well, and then have that real well-deserved week's break.
You take heart from the Blues result up there, because behind the half time we played well, and I've seen the video. I've seen the video of about 5 or 6 Edinburgh games, and you know, I think that game up there could have gone either way at one stage. But I'm sure we're going to be playing against a highly motivated team on Friday night, and you know, we got to show that we're up for the job.